What did your friend do that accidentally turned you on? I have long hair for a guy. She asked if she could braid it. She messed up and ran her fingers through my hair to untangle it, maybe ran her hands through my hair a bit too much, and said my hair was soft. Edit. This was a girl I'd known for 4 years and started dating a mutual friend. I can confirm that she didn't like me that way and just wanted to mess with my hair. I was working and I couldn't reach the top shelf on my tiptoes without asking. He stretched up, just grabbed the item with full eye contact. I don't know, it was something hot about that. My friend offered to give me some pointers at the driving range so I would feel more comfortable at a work function. I had never swung a golf club in my life. After about 30 minutes trying to verbally describe what I was doing wrong and how to fix it, he finally put his hands on my hips and moved them correctly. I could tell he was very intentionally trying not to make it sexual, but sploosh anyway. His voice would get lower/sexier whenever he relaxed and rambled about something he found interesting. Could listen to that for hours. And I have. Was complaining about my posture to my friend. She was like, "Oh, I learned this trick to help my posture, let me show you." And she grabbed me by the shoulders and lightly pushed me against the wall. Then she stepped back and said, "Now walk forward while keeping your shoulders back," or something, I don't remember. It only lasted a few seconds, but I swear I didn't breathe the whole time. After dinner we walked to the subway. We were laughing while going down the stairs. She said something to annoy me and jumped the last 2 steps. She turned around to laugh and I melted. It was like a movie, almost slow motion. Held my hand after a long ride when we took a break because it was cold and rubbed it to make it warm. Me and my roommate at the time get along well with this one girl. One day she came to our apartment for some video gaming. It was getting late, my roommate had already gone to sleep, I was playing Dear Esther and she was watching next to me. All of a sudden, she laid her head on my shoulder. I developed a major crush just from that. 8 years later, when I told her about that, she just said sheepishly that she was tired, and there wasn't any intention. Ha, sucked to be her, she's my wife now. We had been drinking and she got distracted by the rips in my jeans and kept playing with the thread/lightly scratching my knee and thigh. Girl. She sent me a Snapchat sitting in her car on a cold day. She blew gently out of her mouth to show her breath turning into fog and then kind of lightly smirked after. I watched it on loop probably 100 times before it disappeared forever. Something about it was so cheeky or something, I don't know how to explain it, but it's burned into my brain. She made me some stew and brought it to my work for me, unannounced. We're now dating. A few friends bailed on a Disneyland trip, so it was just this girl and myself, and for some reason we still went, drove together. We weren't close and one of my boys was into her at the time. Anyway, we were in line for Matterhorn, and if you know, that seating is front to back, not side by side. We couldn't each get our own car, so we had to sit together, her in front of me and between my legs. And if you know, Matterhorn is the bumpiest ride in Disneyland. Even my jeans couldn't hide it when she was bouncing up and down, in and out of my lap. The look she gave me over her shoulder with a smirk, I'll never forget it. Holy shit, this brought back a memory, haha. Spent a full semester as a freshman in a pretty tight friend group, few girls, few guys. Never had any tension or eye for any of them. At the end of semester, one of the girls invited a few of us to her room for a study session since she was lucky enough to not have a roommate. I arrived first, just when she was getting back from a team practice from some sport, I can't remember which. Before anyone else got there, without warning, she tears off her uniform down to sports bra and shorts so she can put on a clean tee and pants. Then she got straight into a book. I went a year without eyes for her, but that was close to the hottest anyone has ever looked to me. We were on FaceTime when he was getting ready to fish and he used his mouth to do something with threading the line. I don't like fishing, but I like that. Our class wrote an exam. One of my female friends finished earlier than me and had to give her already finished exam to the teacher. I sat in front of her, and when she walked by me, I smelled a lovely perfume and she whispered to me in a calm and kind voice, "Happy birthday." Boy, I couldn't concentrate on the exam anymore. Comparing heights. My friend and I often argued over who was taller. Our licenses listed the same height, but we insisted that we were actually slightly taller than the other. Often we would stand back to back and try to force our friends to declare the tallest, but consensus was never achieved. Once during a party at his place, we ended up alone in the basement for a few minutes, jokingly arguing again about who was taller. We got in each other's faces playfully to compare heights since no one was there to judge, and just the playfulness and proximity gave me an electric zing that I wasn't expecting. We remained friends, attended college in different states, and it didn't come up until after I graduated and we got a chance to reconnect. After a casual brunch turned into 24-hour-long date, he mentioned feeling that first zing all those years ago too. He proposed in October, carrot. Also, we're still the same height. He's slightly taller, but I'll never admit it to him. I guess we will just have to keep comparing our heights forever. Edit. I didn't expect to wake up to so many upvotes and comments and even awards. Haha, I appreciate the gesture, but would be happier if you donated the few dollars or got yourself a little treat you enjoy. Haha. I wasn't going to show my fiancé the comment initially, but I was smiling like a goofy fool and couldn't keep the cuteness from him. I breezed over the last bit about him allegedly being maybe just slightly taller, but he caught it. Haha. But don't worry, the debate on the tallest will never end. However, BC, all these upvotes and nice comments gave me a big head lamau, so I'm definitely taller than him now, even if he denies it. He tucked my hair behind my ears while I was working on a project and couldn't do it myself due to the materials. It was such a simple gesture, but it was so gentle, and we made direct eye contact when I saw his arm reach out. It was just so intimate. Unfortunately, we don't talk anymore, but I still think about that every now and then. It still makes me blush. I hope he's having a good day wherever he is. Placed his hands on my waist to move me. Still makes me blush. It's so beautiful seeing everyone's love languages on this thread. In reading these answers, I think a lot of us are touch-starved. She wanted to tell me something in private, so she leaned over and whispered in my ear. Flag went to full attention because people whispering and touching my ears is a massive turn-on. We hugged after not seeing each other in like 6 months. It was a different kind of hug. He never hugged me like that before this day, and it made me feel all the feels. We're married now with baby number 2 on the way, smiley face. He said yes ma'am, not knowing I'm into that. He was just messing around. My best friend had me lay down in her lap so she could pet my hair. Best feeling ever. We were at work and he texted me from the other room, "Come," so when I came into the room I said, "What am I, a dog?" He said, "Good girl," and I had no idea I was into that. He totally picked up on how much it affected me. I plan to officially ask him out next week. Edit. He said yes, to answer some questions. I didn't ask him immediately because I had a gift for him in the mail and I wanted to ask at the same time I gave the gift. I did indeed show him this comment thread afterwards and he thought it was hilarious. Walkies about killed us both. I do have a collar and a leash now. We don't have to worry about HR right now because we are contractors and our job is about to end, so no one gives a shit. Also, our shifts literally only consist of us two and no one else in a building, so no worries. And to that one person who said girls shouldn't ask out guys, he loved the fact I asked him, but if he didn't, and had gotten upset about gender roles and all that nonsense you said, he wouldn't be the right dude for me anyways. She showed me her art and there was some artistic and intimate nudes she drew. They were gorgeous, but what really got me was when she said they were her body, flush face. I was with my friend on a public bus and it was really crowded. She didn't have any seat to sit and was tired, so she sat on my lap. We were being really sarcastic to each other and having a fake argument at work during a lunch break. Then she leans in, and in my face, with direct eye contact, in a low sultry voice said, "Yeah, my name, fuck you," then let out a wry sideways smile. That did something for me. New kink unlocked. I don't know how to replicate it, but I still think about it to this day. Weary face. First time he exhibited assertiveness. He used a stern voice to someone else and it gave me chills. Flushed face, droplet. Touched my beard. Just wanted to know what it felt like, but for some reason it really turned me on. I wore a suit for the first time around them and they gave me a look I'd never experienced before. About 25 years ago now, in high school. After seeing my drawings, she said I should draw her nude sometime. In hindsight, it probably wasn't an accident, but she had a boyfriend and I didn't want to be that guy. Edit, I don't mind that it never happened. I met my wife a couple years later and we've been together since. I don't know if things would have turned out differently if I'd hooked up with my high school friend, but I'm happy with how it all turned out in the end. When my college was playing one of those campus-wide zombie apocalypse/tag games, chased me around as a zombie and tackled and pinned me. Anyway, now we're married. Made a joke about getting married for more PTO. Twist. We ended up married. Me and a friend were going fishing and needed to get new licenses. I made a joke about a parent/child license being the cheapest option. My friend, who I cannot stress enough, has never made a sexual remark to me in her life, turns to me and says, "Hey, Daddy," and winks. We were at a big event walking around. Every time she wanted to point something out to me, she would lightly graze the back of my arm with her nails. It was so gentle, made me look at her and want to kiss her every time. I had basically been in love with her since I met her. I had no idea she was interested in me until she cuddled into me after the event. We're dating now. I was in the army at the time, and I was teaching my friends back home combatives. I was showing a female friend how to get out of a headlock, and she jokingly lightly bite me. I let go of the lock for an entirely different reason. I was at a small party with mostly acquaintances. One girl was trying to get the party going and getting people to drink. I usually don't enjoy drinking very much, but at some point she came up to me from behind, held a cup of rum and coke to my lips, tilted my head back, and said, "Drink." I was so turned on in that moment I would have chugged the entire cup.